What is up, guys? Welcome back. So today I want to talk about anxiety symptoms and how it affects our acceptance. All right, this is something that I struggled with. Probably 75-80% of you struggle with this. Some of you have finally gained 100% acceptance and you're starting to work on your recovery. But for a lot of the people that watch my channel, they are very symptom focused. You know who you are. And my goal is for you to get out of that and for you to start working on your recovery, or at least managing your anxiety, and acceptance is a big part of it. It is annoying to hear it all the time. It's not everything when it comes to recovery, but it's a big step. Okay, so understand that this isn't everything, but this is what you have to gain, and that's acceptance that anxiety can cause the symptoms that you're going through. And that's kind of where I'll start. It was hard for me for the first few years of anxiety to wrap my mind around the fact that anxiety can cause all the symptoms that I was experiencing. And when I'm talking about symptoms, you see my videos on this channel. I've experienced just about everything that you can experience with anxiety, a few lesser than others. But we're talking about hundreds of symptoms. If we add in sensations and feelings, we probably get close to 1,000, all right? So I experienced just about all of them. And I went through this thing where I would finally start to gain acceptance about one group of symptoms. And the funny thing is, whenever you finally accept that a certain symptom is anxiety 100%, guess what? It magically starts disappearing, right? Because we don't have as much fear and focus. We're not worrying about it being a disease or something worse. So guess what? It starts to fade. And, you know, going through these stages, some lasted a couple years, others lasted a week, some lasted a month or two. So that's what would happen. And then it was like I almost had to go through all the symptoms to finally look back and be like, you know what, for the past 4 years, I've been going through this, and that, and this, and that. Okay, it's gotta be anxiety. I'm still here, I'm still alive, I'm still waking up every day. The doctors continuously tell me that nothing is wrong. My symptoms are just changing. And that's what symptoms will do. They'll change if you haven't fixed the root problem of your anxiety. Try to view these symptoms as messages. The subconscious is trying to tell you with chest pain that it's scared and that something is wrong, right? Tension is a common symptom with anxiety. It can manifest in different ways. Mine started with a lot of chest pain. So that's a message, right? Once I finally accepted that anxiety was causing the chest pain and I started ignoring the message, the subconscious had to find a different way to get my attention. So I started having IBS and stomach issues. Then it was throat pain. Then it was headaches. Then it was ear ringing and ear pressure. I mean, I went through so many different stages and cycles with my anxiety symptoms. And I'm telling you, like, for people with just generalized anxiety disorder, the difference between them and people with health anxiety is that they don't believe that their symptoms are killing them. And in the first couple weeks after dealing with their symptoms, they can get acceptance by going to a doctor, and that's enough for them to move forward with their anxiety recovery, right? Acceptance isn't a huge issue. They don't like the symptoms, they're uncomfortable for them, but they don't believe that they're the result of a disease or that they're dying from it. So that makes a big difference, I believe, in the severity of your anxiety. That's why I think health anxiety is one of the hardest things to overcome and to deal with, because we think these symptoms are killing us. When I'm having chest pain, I think it's a heart attack. Whenever I'm having a headache, I think I have a brain tumor, you know? When I have shortness of breath, I feel like I'm about to fall over and faint and die. So, you know, this is something that I dealt with. And here's another part of this. Most of us that struggle with acceptance, like, we've dealt with anxiety on and off our whole entire life. It was just nothing like this, you know? Maybe you were more nervous than most people. Maybe you had some moments where you kind of worried about your health, but it didn't get this bad. Maybe you have some performance anxiety. Maybe you had butterflies in your stomach before, and maybe you had a little bit of social anxiety issues at times. Maybe you just saw the glass half empty and had a lot of negative thoughts throughout your early life. But whenever you first experience anxiety in a severe way, your first thought is like, this can't be anxiety, because I've had anxiety on and off my entire life. People know this. I know this. I've been told this. You know, this is way different. God, this must be a heart attack. And don't get me wrong, there's nothing wrong, especially in the beginning, with going to the ER and getting checked. Even if your symptoms have changed over the years, there's nothing wrong with going to the doctor and getting checked. It's better be safe than sorry, right? But in the beginning, it's just like we really do not think that it's anxiety, because, well, we've never experienced symptoms on this level, you know, symptoms of this magnitude. So I think that that's where it starts. And then finally, whenever you start to come around and accept, for me, it took 2.5 years to accept that there was nothing wrong with my heart. So when I finally got to that point where I could move forward with it and I had acceptance, you know, it would have been nice for it to be over. But guess what? It wasn't. Since I didn't handle all my root causes, I still was afraid of death, dying, disease. I still didn't handle adversities. I still didn't make any major changes in my life. The next time I felt stomach pain, I got worried again, and I focused, and the stomach pain stayed there for 3 months. Told this story in I believe my last video. And then then I went to more throat pain. After I gained acceptance about that, then it was throat pain. Then I assumed throat cancer. Then it was headaches that I was dealing with, and dizziness, and some ear ringing. So guess what I thought? I thought brain cancer. And then I had a lot of ear pressure, and I felt some tenderness in my neck, and then I thought lymphoma. So I went through each of these cycles, and just whenever I was about to gain full acceptance and move on with my life, I would get new symptoms. Understand that I can make a whole video about new symptoms and what to do and what not to do. But new symptoms are a part of anxiety. That's why you have to continuously work on your root causes, work on changing your life, all right? It's not about just trying to accept that this is not heart disease and that it's anxiety. Okay, well, that's good and all. But you got to fix the anxiety too. We got to fix the motor that's causing the symptoms. I think a lot of people forget about it. All we think about are just symptoms. We are very symptom focused. So if your symptoms are changing all the time, it's because, well, you're not fixing the motor that's dishing them out. And our subconscious is very smart. Once you stop picking up on a message that's getting sent to you, it'll change the message. It'll change it. Your subconscious, the goal for it is to get you to convince it that it's safe. And it's not going to just randomly stop giving you symptoms. You're not going to wake up one day and the anxiety be gone. You have to rewire. You have to do a lot of convincing. You have to gain the trust of your subconscious. So yeah, it's easy. Like one of the biggest struggles in my whole anxiety recovery journey was just wrapping my mind around the fact that anxiety could cause symptoms like this. How can anxiety make my chest hurt this bad every single day, yet no test picks it up? You know what I mean? How can my heart feel like it's doing some crazy stuff in here, but my EKGs are always normal? How can I have crazy stomach issues nonstop and have diarrhea and I have to pee nonstop, but my blood work turns out fine every time? I don't know. It was very, very frustrating for me. And it's not like I wanted to know that I was going to die or something, but I just wanted help and I wanted to get better. But the whole problem the whole time, and unfortunately I think this is where a lot of you guys are, it's just because it's all about the symptoms. That's all it is. It's all about symptoms. Getting constant reassurance, leaving comments about symptoms, asking about this, asking about that, asking your friends, your family. Anytime you go to therapy, it's like we got to talk about symptoms first. You're in the forums, you're in the Facebook groups, always asking about symptoms. When you're so symptom focused, you can't work on the motor that causes the symptoms. And I get it, like that's the hard part. Well, how am I supposed to work on myself if I got headaches all day and if I got chest pain? That's part of it. I'm just gonna be for real. Like that's part of it. That's part of the grind, that's part of the journey. You have to change your life and fix things even while you have symptoms, and some people are not willing to do it. And I understand that it's scary and that it's painful. Trust me, if anybody knows, it's me. It's me. But I think that's why a lot of people struggle with acceptance, that whenever they finally do accept symptoms, they change on us. And it's just hard for us to believe that anxiety can cause these symptoms. Hell, it's hard for others that we try to explain them to believe us, right? They'll look at us like we're crazy. Like, there's no way it hurts that bad, or there's no way you feel that way. Like, didn't you go to the doctor yesterday and they told you that you're fine? So acceptance is a big part of anxiety. I believe it's one of the first steps. So I'll give acceptance that, it is one of probably the top 4 things that are important when it comes to anxiety recovery. But it is one of the first things that you have to gain. It was hard for me to work on anything else as long as I didn't accept. It's hard for my subconscious to take mindfulness and stuff seriously. It's hard for my subconscious to believe me when I'm doing journaling or doing gratitude or making all these other changes, if the whole time consciously I still technically think that I'm dying from a disease. It's not really going to get the full benefit out of my efforts. So there's quite a few different messages in this video. Try to view anxiety as messages. The message will change if you stop listening, when you stop accepting. So know that symptoms do change over time. Expect that. Going to the doctor, the first few times doesn't rewire your brain. You didn't have to do anything, to get that news. So therefore the motor is going to continue going. Stop being so symptom focused. I know that's easier said than done, but it's the truth. And a lot of us have trouble accepting that this is anxiety because we've had anxiety off and on our whole entire life. So we thought that that's what anxiety was, So now that this is hitting, it's got to be something different. So there's a few different messages kind of mixed into this video. I just wanted to get something out to you guys today. Took a little break on Friday and Saturday, but Sunday through Friday we're uploading every day. So check out the videos that I posted this past week. There's some good stuff there. The 3 stages of recovery. If you haven't seen that video, go check it out. I'll probably put it up here at the end of this video, so go do that. But if you're ready to start working on acceptance, if you're ready to start working on recovery, no better place to start than my course, Elite Anxiety Bootcamp. All right, I'm gonna put that down below in the description and in the first pinned comment. A lot of you guys have been getting it and getting the benefits out of it as of late. Very, very appreciative of that. You're gonna get some great help with that course. It's my step-by-step process on how I overcame anxiety disorders, including the generalized anxiety disorder, health anxiety, panic disorder. I was crippled with that for years and I was able to overcome it. So know that you can too. So that can be your guide. So try that out. Very, very affordable. I made it that way on purpose. Probably one of the more affordable anxiety courses that you're going to find online with that much packed into it. So take advantage of it if you haven't. I know a lot of you have already gotten it. I'm also going to put a link for online therapy. All right. I encourage you guys to pursue therapy if you've never tried it. This is an easy way to get into therapy. They find a therapist that matches up with you. You do a little evaluation in the beginning of it when you first sign up, and they match you up with somebody. And the cool thing is that you can do it on the phone or the computer. You don't have to actually go travel, do all this stuff, the hassles that come with that. So try that out. I'm also going to put my coaching email down there. So if you want coaching from me, just email me and I'll send you my one-on-one call information. Yes, it's an investment, but I think it's a great investment for me to work with you one-on-one so I can hear your actual story and give you personalized advice that way. Something I love doing. I get to connect with the people that watch my videos. It's been an extremely rewarding experience. So I'm going to put that down there. All my other stuff is there. Please subscribe if you haven't. Hit the bell so you can get notified when I put my videos out. Is there anything else? Hit like if you got some value out of this video. Hopefully you did. And until next time, I love you all and keep fighting.